All Women's Action Society AWAM is an independent non-profit organisation that deals specifically in the area of women, especially rights of the women and the violence against women. AWAM started off in 1985 when a bunch of women groups and sections come together to have a campaign against violence against women. They decided to form AWAM as an organisation that helped to secure women's rights and improve the lives of women in Malaysia to be treated with respect, including gender equality, and not to be discriminated in all fields. In the first episode of NGO's Focus series, Malaysiakini talks to AWAM on their commitment to improve the lives and championing the rights of women in Malaysia.
So the objective of AWAM is to improve the lives of women in Malaysia, basically to be treated with respect and not to be discriminated in all fields. So we are an independent, non-profit feminist organization, and the work we do actually is help to secure women's rights, bring about gender equality, as well as supporting women, especially during the times when they are faced with violence, when they have a crisis. So that briefly is how AWAM started. AWAM do a lot of training and advocacy work, but on the ground, when women need help, they can always call us at our helpline. Our helpline telemeter is 03-7877-0224, and it's open from 10 o'clock to 4:30. So people can either come in or call by phone. If they have a problem, they can always call us on the line or call us to make an appointment and come in to see us face to face. Yeah. Well, when we first started from 1988, at that point of time, women were very much discriminated even in the laws. So one of the strengths that we found is advocating changes in law. So the Domestic Violence Act, for example, is one of the laws that was pushed by women's group, including AWAM. And in 1996, the law was implemented. Having said that, I think the next area that we felt we have achieved quite well is the area of gender equality. In 1995, at the Beijing conference, Malaysia signed CEDAW, that is the Convention on Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. Having signed that, it means the government is obligated to ensure gender equality for all women. So that's where we, as part of the other women's group like JAG, push for a ministry specifically for women. And that is how the Women Ministry also came about. And more important is the amendment in the Federal Constitution, Article 8.2, where it prohibits discrimination based on gender. So that's a very major achievement for all women in Malaysia.
Well, CEDAW basically is the Women's Convention, the short name for it. It's an international convention that spells out basically firstly what discrimination means and what the responsibilities are of governments to protect the rights of women. So Malaysia signed on to it. So part of the requirements is that the government needs to report on their progress, and so NGOs have the opportunity to submit their own reports every 4 years. So right now we are preparing the government, the shadow report. It's called the shadow report, and we, AWAM, along with many other women's groups, putting together in the process of putting together the report. So for AWAM, we are currently working on the chapter on sexuality. So, which means that all the discriminations or the problems that women face in matters of sexuality, will be trying to document it and say how the government has or has not done anything and what our recommendations are. So for example, the recent fatwa against tomboys and punkits, We'll be talking about that in the sense, for example, we'll be looking for any information on any younger woman, any so-called pengkit or tomboy who has faced any form of harassment or discrimination as a result of that fatwa.
So a lot of things that we do involve with is training. Yeah, a key area that we do is training, and campaigns such as like Count Me In. Yeah, Count Me In is quite a recent campaign that we did in 2007 after a series of violent cases of murder, like Kenny Ong, various people, you know. So we know that there's a lot of violence that's happening. What can we do? So this particular Count Me In project, we started targeting at young school, like secondary school level, and we got the students to come up with their own program on how they see they can help to create safety. Yeah. So with this, we ended in the Dataran, where a lot of people came together to support and to ensure that we create safe spaces, especially like for young and for the women. Well, I would say that over the last 20 years, there has been some progress. Yeah, there has been some progress. For example, at one point of time when you talk about violence against women, nobody will do anything to support the women who are abused. But now it has even been mainstream into even the government takes on the issue of violence against women. Well, there's a lot more work for NGOs to do, because friends are now from the NGO movement into the politics. We now become the people to monitor these activists who have become members of the political or become politicians. So there is this Committee on Good Governance, Coalition on Good Governance, which we are in the Women's Task Force, and through this Women's Task Force we actually have dialogue with the State Government Women's Affairs to input and to see how we can give information on how to improve the women's lot, yeah, in terms of policy, in terms of training. I think if you go to all the NGOs, most of us are all in the same coalition. And this is the coalition to look at how these NGO friends who are now politicians work towards that democratic practice, the good governance that we all talk about. Especially like NGOs like us, we are very independent. We work with a lot of different kinds of funders, but it's a worldwide, worldwide we are having this economic kind of a downturn, and definitely the funds are affected. Yeah, but we do hope that it's not always the end of the road. Yeah, we believe we can still raise funds on our own, but we will need a lot of support from people who are able to give whatever funding they can. At the same time, we also practice like we do what's necessary. Yeah, we don't want to spend unnecessarily. If we can, we try to be income generating and do smaller fundraising this point of time rather than fundraising like in the past, so that we recognize everyone will have less money to give lah. So while they can give less, they still give. That is okay.